On my car remote start project, I'm using the Arduino to send and receive text messages on a Motorola C168i via the TTL serial port that's in the headset jack. To achieve this, I'm just using the serial port on the Arduino itself to connect directly to the phone. One problem that I have run into, of course, is I want to be able to do debugging by sending information back to the computer through the serial port. Of course, I'm already using that serial port, the one that's used by the USB connection. So to get around this, what I'm doing is I've used a TTL to USB serial port cable that I purchased online, and I've connected that to pin 3 on the Arduino. Of course, that's just a standard I/O port, but what I'm using is the software serial library to do a serial out on that port so that I can send information back to the computer to kind of get an idea of what's going on, and of course get any error messages that I may get from the phone. This will help me with the project and debugging, of course. The reason I'm using the software serial for the input or the output from the Arduino to my computer for debugging instead of using the software serial for the phone itself is because while it's quite simple to do an output on software serial, input is a little bit more complicated because you have to account for timing issues where you need to make sure the device is actually listening when it needs to be listening, which makes the project much more complicated. So I decided to just use the hardware-based serial where you don't have that problem to listen for anything from the phone, and then we're going to just use software serial to send information to the computer. And of course, if you have the Arduino Mega, you actually have 4 hardware-based serial ports, so this isn't a problem, but this is just a workaround that I'm using, and there may be some other simpler options. So if you have any other thoughts on that, just let me know, post a comment or something. But this is what I'm doing, and it's worked quite well.